evening, everybody, and thank you for coming to this Pensions Committee meeting. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome Nick Jalima and Camille Capitan from Hymans, our new investment consultants coming, and this is their first meeting. So welcome and thank you for coming. Are there any apologies for absence?
Yes, Chair. I think Gwen, Isaac, he is on annual leave, so he will not be able to join us today.
All right, okay. Any members' declaration of interest? Pecuniary interest? No. The last minutes of the meeting, a true record. Is everybody happy with them? Okay. And so then on to the quarterly fund performance, which Roger will do.
Thank you, Chair. Just briefly, the total market value of the fund has increased over the last quarter by some 12.6 million, which leaves our fund just shy now of some 900 million, which is a good news. We continue to benefit from our being overweight in equities. Equities doing very well from that point of view. But our performance over the last 3 months, the assets returned about a 2% compared to a target of 2.3%. But over the longer term, over the last 12 months, performance, the fund performance has been some 30.8%, which is excellent. And just as a note, it's worth noting that under the recent PERC performance measurement indices, they're an independent assessor of pension funds. The Merton Fund has been placed 10th overall in fund performance out of about over 100 funds. And during that's over the last 12 months, and over the last 3 years, we're 7th. And over the last 5 years, we're 8th. So we're in a fairly good place. No reason for complacency, of course, but we are in a good place with regards to performance of our fund. Happy to take any questions in the public part of the meeting, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Roger, for your presentation. Are there any questions from the committee or anyone else? No. Okay, so moving on, we'll go to the pension fund work plan, and I think Nimashe is giving that.
Yeah. This is, it's a good idea just to give you an idea of what's going to come in the coming quarter. So I have put it for 3 quarters here. So most of the items are standard performance and training. So the main thing probably will be, we will be with the new advisors, and we'll be looking at the strategy approved in November 2020, some of the new asset classes we want to invest, such as social impact investment and increasing the allocation to infrastructure. And we're planning to do a members open day for the active members. It will be mainly virtually. So they will benefit mainly on the individual pension, and also give them an update on how the pension fund works and everything. And the key part will be training for the committee officers and also the board members, which will take place every quarter. And the next agenda item is the training. So I'll not talk much about that one. And the one thing, probably the January to the March 22 quarter, I forgot to add here, but we will be looking at the next triennial valuation, March 22, and the work will start on that one. So if you have any question, I'm happy to answer on that.
Okay. Any questions from anybody? Adam Tobin, do you have any questions?
Roger, obviously the fund is doing better. So are we looking at a position where the triennial valuation or the annual update valuation is going to show a bigger surplus than what was anticipated? And how will that sort of affect our investment decisions.
Well, thank you for that. Really, in a nutshell, I mean, the previous valuation, of course, placed us about a funding level of about 103%, so we were in surplus. It's probably a little bit too early to predict what our funding level will be. It will emerge during the next valuation. Still a little way to go. But all we can say is we are certainly meeting our targets with regards to the assumptions that the actuary made going forward in terms of their predictions for our contribution rate. Of course, it also depends on our liabilities, our future liabilities, and at that time how assets are valued, although we do benefit from Barnett Waddingham valuation. So all we can say at this stage is we remain in a very positive place. There's a good likelihood that we'll be in a favourable position come our next triennial valuation. What that means for our investment strategy, I don't think it means too much difference, Councillor Bush, because obviously our strategy so far is delivering to our needs. It's we're in a fairly good place from that. But as with every triennial valuation, what we do once we get the results of that is we take the time, as we did last time, just to look at our strategy to see if we need to fine tune it, to see where the opportunities may exist or whether we can benefit from additional divergence and diversity in our fund. But at the moment, I wouldn't want to predict what our funding level will be come the next triennial valuation. But all I can say is we remain positive at this stage, and we are continuing to meet our actuarial target.
All right. Any other questions? Okay, then the pension fund training policy, next item.
Okay, I'll take this one, Chair. Just very briefly, really what we've put before you today is our training policy. In other words, it's our approach to training. Members will be aware that we need to, as part of our MiFID II accreditation, we need to continue to train and develop our knowledge and our skills. And this really just sets out that policy and the criteria which we will develop a training plan, which we will present to you soon in the future, which will enable us to develop our skills. You will note, I'm sure, members, that as part of our professional status under MiFID, we need to maintain our skill sets, knowledge base, and this is really just a policy that we can hopefully sign up to, that will enable us to recognise the fact that we have a responsibility as panel members to maintain our skill sets, and then what will happen is Naima and I will work up a proper training plan for you, which we've already put placeholders in the work plan going forward, and we will bring that to you at a future meeting so that you can be aware of the sort of the training that we've lined up for you all in terms of enhancing your particular skills, and to prepare you for some of the reports we'll be bringing in future around asset classes and decisions that we require, we will want the panel to make going forward. So it's really just a policy in place, which hopefully we will bring forward the proper detailed training plan the next session. Happy to take any questions.
If I can add something on top of Roger's, we working with the pension shared service run by Wandsworth, who is part of 4 other council, to bring an online training tool that it will enable the committee members and office to do small module at your own time. This will be on the basis, very basic information on the pension funds, like which is on the page 21, like legislation, governance, administration, accounting. So you can complete this training at your own place, own time, and that will go along. In addition to that, as Roger mentioned, if we are going to do any new asset class or some development coming, then we will arrange further trainings on that one.
Right. Can I just ask one question? Here it says shared training with other funds or frameworks? What sort of training will that take?
It will be like on online basis, but the pension administration is run by Pension Shared Service hosted by Wandsworth Council. So we are part of it, and Camden and Waltham Forest.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
we all jointly going, and again, it's all created by Hyman Robertson, but we are still working on it. And if you signed up to that, then you'll have an opportunity to do these online trainings.
Thank you. Anyone got any questions on training? No, you're happy. Are there any other items, any other business from anybody? No? Okay, I think that concludes the formal public part of the meeting, and we'll move on